Dear students, you look at the diagram figure 1.1 scale graduated in centimeters. Here you can see the divisions 0 starting 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, the divisions are in centimeters, and you can see the centimeter length is not divided into millimeters, only centimeter divisions are there. That's why here it is written scale graduated in centimeters. Okay, now you are using this to find length of the object. Now look at the diagram and tell me what is the length of the object. You can easily say the length of the object is more than 3 centimeters but less than 4 centimeters. It means how much uncertainty is there. See, the uncertainty. There is some uncertainty in telling its length. Up to 3 centimeters it is certain. But after 3 centimeters of length, how much extra, that you are unable to tell. So that inability is called uncertainty or inaccuracy. So here, if you use this instrument, you have a maximum uncertainty of this minus this. 4 minus 3, that is equal to 1 centimeter. Up to 1 centimeter, this instrument has uncertainty or inaccuracy. Now let us look at the second diagram. This is second diagram. In this, scale is graduated in millimeters. The scale is graduated in millimeters. Now you look at the diagram and tell me what is the length of the object. So if you carefully see, its length is more than 3.4 centimeters. But the length is less than 3.5 centimeters. Less than 3.5 centimeters. So how much uncertainty is there? 3.5 minus 3.4, that is equal to 0.1 centimeter. So that is the distance between the two successive divisions. That much uncertainty, the maximum uncertainty is that much. So this uncertainty is known as error. This uncertainty is known as error. So how we define? Any measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called error. So up to 1 centimeter, see the first scale is up to 1 centimeter, it is uncertain. No? But actually 1 centimeter means what? The distance between the two successive divisions. But the distance between the two successive divisions is called least count of that instrument. So uncertainty is nothing but least count. Here, in this case, the minimum distance it can measure is the distance between the 2 millimeter divisions, and that is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So this is nothing but least count of this meter scale. So what is happening? The least count itself is becoming uncertainty. The uncertainty is nothing but the maximum uncertainty is becoming equal to least count of the instrument. See, there are several other words also used for this. You sometimes we use uncertainty, sometimes we use inaccuracy, or we use accuracy also. Accuracy, inaccuracy, uncertainty, least count, all these are one and the same. So one thing you have to remember is, if you are using this scale and if you are asked to measure the length of the object, how do you express? You just write length of the object is 3 centimeters. That's all. You should not make eye estimation. To your eye, it is between 3 and 4. Therefore, you should not write 3.5 centimeters, because it is not marked. The divisions are not marked. Therefore, you should take only up to 3 and you should write the length of the object is 3 centimeters. But actually, its length is more than 3. So, this apparatus has some inaccuracy. It has some uncertainty in measurement. Because of the uncertainty, the reading it gives is defective. It is not accurate. It has some defect or it has some error. So in that way, how do you define error? And that error occurring is nothing but that is known as uncertainty. That uncertainty itself is known as error. The uncertainty is leading to error. Here also, when you are making use of the meter scale and you are asked, if you are asked to measure its length, you should say the length of the object is 3.4 centimeters only. You should not make an eye estimate, just 3 point, but actually it is slightly more than 3.4 centimeters. But your apparatus is not graduated to calculate how much extra it is. So that extra is it cannot measure how much it is extra. That is its inability, that is its inaccuracy, that is its uncertainty. Because of its uncertainty, its inability, if you use this instrument, you will get some error, and that error is nothing but its uncertainty. Because of the uncertainty, you are getting the error. Therefore, we measure an error. How? Any measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called error. In addition to this definition, we give another definition also. Error is equal to measured value minus true value. Now, let us look at the short answer question 1. The Vernier scale of an instrument has 50 divisions which coincide with 49 main scale divisions. If each main scale division is 0.5 millimeters, see here, main scale division is usually, previously I told you the main scale will be the ordinary meter scale. But here that each millimeter is again divided into two parts. So each part is becoming 0.5 millimeter. Okay. If each main scale division is 0.5 millimeter, then using this instrument, what would be the minimum inaccuracy in the measurement of distance? See, inaccuracy, uncertainty, accuracy, all these stand for its least count only. So, least count of Vernier calipers is defined as one main scale division divided by number of Vernier scale divisions. So, each main scale division is 0.5 mm. And the number of vernier scale divisions, how many? 50 divisions. See, the vernier scale of an instrument has 50 divisions. So, how much we get? 0.5 means 0.1 by 10. That is 0.01 mm or 0.001 cm. So, its least count is this much. Therefore, see, it will give you certain value up to 2 decimal places. The third decimal place will be uncertain. The third decimal place will be uncertain. Now let us define what is accuracy. The accuracy of a measurement is a measure of how close the measured value is to the true value of the quantity. Let us take an example. You have measured a physical quantity 5 times. See, first time you got 2.63, next 2.56, next 2.42, next 2.71, next 2.80. But the true value is 2.62. So, now if you take difference between measured value and true value, you get the error. So, in the first measurement, the error is 0.01. In the next measurement, 0.06. Third measurement, 0.20, 0.09, 0.18. Now you compare the 5 errors where the error is minimum. Here the error is minimum, just 0.01. It means what? This measured value is closest to the true value. Therefore, this measured here, it is more accurate. This value is more accurate. Lesser the error, more will be the accuracy. Now let us know what is precision. The precision of a measuring instrument denotes up to what limit or resolution the quantity can be measured using the given instrument. Now let us consider the examples. Length of an object using meter scale. An object is given, you measured its length using meter scale and you got the value 3.4 centimeters. See, if you are using meter scale, see, its least count is 0.1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. It cannot measure less than that. Therefore, the reading will be after a decimal point only, up to one place only it can measure. The meter scale can measure only up to 1 decimal place, because its least count is just 0.1 centimeter. And that also called as resolution. The resolution of the meter scale is 0.1 centimeter. It cannot measure less than 0.1 centimeter. See, here you can see the meter scale here. See, one division, the beside division. The distance between the two adjacent divisions is 1 millimeter. So, only up to 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. Only up to 0.1 centimeter it can measure. Less than that it cannot measure. So, its resolution is only up to 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So, up to that limit only it can measure. Therefore, as far as meter scale is concerned, its precision is just 0.1 centimeter, 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So, that is called precision of the meter scale or resolution of the meter scale. But if you go for vernier calipers, it has two scales, main scale and vernier scale. Making use of the two scales, it can measure up to 0.01 centimeter. That's why, see, you got the reading. You measure the same object using vernier calipers and you got the reading 3.42 centimeters. You got the reading up to 2 decimal places. So, up to 2 decimal places, this apparatus is able to measure. Because its resolution, its least count is up to 2 decimal places. And that is known as its precision. And if you measure the length of the same object using screw gauge, you get this reading 3.425 centimeters. See, it could measure up to 3 decimal places because its least count, its resolution is up to 3 places. So, up to what place it can measure, that is known as precision or resolution. Now, let us distinguish between accuracy and precision. First, accuracy of a measurement is a measure of how close the measured value is to the true value. But precision tells us to what resolution or to what limit the quantity can be measured. Second, accuracy depends on sources of errors. See, if there are more sources of errors, then error will be more, accuracy will be less, like that. And precision of given instrument, it depends upon precision also. Next, precision. Precision depends on calibration of the scale. See here, the proof is here. It is calibrated in centimeters. This is calibrated in millimeters. It can measure only up to 1 centimeter. Its accuracy is limited to 1 centimeter. Its resolution is 1 centimeter. See here to here, 1 centimeter. If see here, up to 3 centimeters it could measure. After 3 centimeters, how much extra is there, that it cannot measure. So, its resolution is limited to 1 centimeter. But when you take meter scale, its resolution is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. Here the resolution is 1 centimeter. Here the resolution is 1 millimeter or 0.1. Here it is 1 centimeter. Here it is 0.1 centimeter. See, compared to this, it is having more resolution. Why? Because the calibration is like that. This is calibrated in centimeters. This is calibrated in millimeters. So the precision depends upon the calibration of the scale. Precision depends on calibration of the scale and least count of the instrument. Of course, again the least count depends upon calibration only. See, again the least count also, least count is nothing but the minimum value it can measure. Here the minimum value it can measure is 1 centimeter. Here the minimum value it can measure is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. And that is because of calibration only. So far, we discussed accuracy and precision. We can very well understand with an example. Let us consider an example. Suppose true value of an object is 3.678 centimeter. So, first you are measuring the object with help of an instrument whose resolution is 0.1 centimeter. Whose resolution is 0.1 centimeter, tell me? Meter scale. Okay, it means you are measuring with a meter scale. And what value you got? 3.5 centimeter. So, how closer is the measured value to the true value? That you can find by taking the difference between the two values. But here this is up to 1 decimal position, this is up to 3 decimal positions. So, first we should its value is rounded to the first decimal position. 3.678 means 8 and 7 are more than 5. Therefore, the 6 can be 1 can be added to this 6, so you got 3.7. Now 3.5 minus 3.6, only you are considering the difference, whether it is positive or negative. We are not interested in that. The difference between 3.7 and 3.5, that is 0.2, that is accuracy. So see, this is actually the difference between measured value and true value is error. So this is actually error. This is actually error, and this error tells you how accurate it is. Lesser the error, more will be accurate. So you just write here you got 0.2 error. Okay. Now let us go for now you are measuring the same object second time using a device of greater resolution. Its resolution is 0.01 centimeters, and the measured value this time you got 3.38 centimeters. Okay. Now how closer is this to the true value? Let us see by taking the difference. Okay, measured value minus true value. So 3.678 is rounded to second decimal position. So here this 7 becomes 8 because this is more than 5. So this is 3.68 true, and this is 3.38. What is the difference? 0.30. Here this is the error. Actually this is error. This is also error. Okay. Using meter scale, the error is 0.2. And when you used vernier calipers, the error is 0.3. See here, the error is more. Error more means accuracy less. Here, error less means, see, you are comparing these two. Here, error is less. So, the accuracy is more. Right. Now, let us compare precision. So, when you used meter scale, its precision is only up to first decimal position. Only up to first decimal position. But when you used the vernier calipers, the measured value is up to 2 decimal position. Here the precision is more here. Here the precision is less. So any measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called error. And the error can be measured for any instrument. Just you take the difference between measured value and true value. That becomes the error. And these errors are broadly classified into two categories. One is systematic errors and another is random errors. What do you mean by systematic errors? The errors that tend to be in one direction, either positive or negative, are called systematic errors. With an example, we can easily understand. Let us consider this first example. With a vernier calipers, you measured length of an object 5 times and you got 5 different values. But actually, the true length of the object is 2.58 centimeters. Now, taking the difference between the measured value and true value, you get the error. So, you calculated the errors for the 5 readings. Now, you look at the errors. All the errors are positive. All the errors are positive. So, here the error occurred by 0.05 centimeters. Here 0. Here the magnitude is changing. Sometimes the error is more, sometimes the error is less. The magnitude of the error is changing, but the sign, whether the error is positive or negative, all the 5 errors are positive. So here the error occurred in one direction. because all the errors are positive. Therefore, the errors occurred in one direction. So you can say these errors are systematic. Now let us go for another example. See, these are the measured values. This is true value and the difference is written here. The difference is nothing but errors. See, for the first measurement, the error is negative. See, minus 0.05. Here also minus, here also minus, here also minus. See, all the errors are with negative sign. So, here also the error occurred in one direction because all the errors are negative. So here errors the errors are occurred in one direction. Therefore, this also can be taken as an example for systematic errors. Now let us consider another example. These are the measured values. This is the true value, and here the difference between measured value and true value is error. And you look at the errors: plus 0.01, minus 0.06, minus 0.20, plus 0.09, plus 0.18. Some of the errors are positive, some of the errors are negative. So the errors are occurring in two directions. Some are positive, some are negative. So these errors cannot be called as an example for systematic errors. Here the error is not occurring systematically. These systematic errors are again classified into three types. 1. Instrumental errors. 2. Imperfect experimental technique or procedure. 3. Personal errors. So first let us go for the first one, instrumental errors. So the instrumental errors are again two types. One, the instrumental error due to imperfect design or imperfect calibration. And second one is zero error in instrument. Let us consider these two in detail. First one, what? Imperfect design or imperfect calibration. Both are one and the same. Imperfect calibration. For example, the temperature graduations of thermometer may be inadequately calibrated. It may read 104 degrees centigrade at boiling point of water at STP, whereas it should be 100 degrees centigrade. See, on thermometer, the marking will be there. The marking may be defective. See, at 100 degrees, see, when you keep the thermometer mercury bulb in the boiling water, the mercury level reaches a division. There it should be marked as 100, but they by mistake they marked it as 104. So this is imperfect design. So because of that we get errors. Another example is given. If a scale is worn off at the starting end up to 0.2 centimeter reading and we do not notice it and treat it as 0, then every length we measure will be always 0.2 centimeter more than the true value. See here, meter scale is given here. Suppose up to 2 divisions it is worn off. By using it repeatedly, the edges will be worn out. So up to 2 millimeter divisions it is worn off, but you did not see. You measured with this scale. So then what happens? Automatically error occurs. By how much amount? By 0.2 divisions are worn out. Therefore, there will be each time you measure it will be 0.2 centimeters more than the actual length. So let us consider the two instruments. One is vernier calipers, another screw gauge. In the two instruments, let us consider what is zero error. You can see the diagram of vernier calipers here. Vernier calipers consists of two scales. Say this shaded scale is main scale. Main scale is nothing but your meter scale. And this block one is there, no? This block. On this, just 10 divisions will be there. And this is called as a vernier scale. And this is the fixed jaw. This is the movable jaw. And you keep the object between the two jaws and measure its length. So when you move the movable jaw to left side, and when these two jaws, see here one more thing, see you can see 0 of the main scale here. Similarly, for the vernier scale also, the left division will be 0 of the vernier scale. So this is the 0 of the main scale, this is the 0 of the vernier scale. So when you close the two jaws, when these two jaws coincide with each other, touch with each other, then what happens? This vernier 0 coincides with main scale 0. But sometimes after several years of usage, this vernier 0 doesn't coincide with main scale 0, even though they are in touch with each other. Then if they are not coinciding, if vernier 0 and main scale 0, if they do not coincide, if it shows some reading, then naturally we get error if you use this instrument, and that error is called as zero error. And now we should be let us measure the zero error. You look at this diagram. See, lower scale is vernier scale, upper scale is main scale. See, when the two jaws are in touch with each other, when there is no object between the two jaws, the vernier 0 is coinciding with main scale 0. It means this instrument is perfect. It has no zero error. It is written here, no zero error in the first diagram. Now you go to the second diagram. Here the vernier 0 is slightly to right side of the main scale 0. If vernier 0 is to right side of the main scale 0, then we say that instrument has positive 0 error. Now you look at the third diagram. Here the vernier 0 is slightly to left side of the main scale 0. So here it is known as negative 0 error. It has negative 0 error. So now, okay. So now you got an idea what is 0 error. Now you got idea. Now you should be able to measure the 0 error. We should be able to measure the 0 error. Then only you can rectify the error. So how to measure the 0 error? See here the method is see here the vernier scale is having 10 divisions. No? Out of the 10 divisions, which division is coinciding with main scale division, that we search. Okay, here 0 not coinciding, 1 not coinciding, 2 3 4 5, fifth division. Fifth division is exactly coinciding with main scale division. So this is taken. This value is multiplied by the least count of the vernier calipers. We measure 0 error making use of this formula, N into LC. N means number of coinciding vernier division. LC means least count of the instrument. What is the least count of the instrument? Again the formula is S by N for least count. S means 1 main scale division. 1 main scale division is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. N means number of vernier divisions. So 0.01 centimeter, the least count. Now here we want to find zero error is equal to N number of coinciding vernier division. Here fifth vernier division is coinciding with main scale division. Therefore N value is 5. Least count 0.01. So 0.05. So here the error is positive because vernier 0 is to right side of the main scale 0. So this is the positive. So you could calculate the zero error. How much you got? Plus 0.05. Now correction. Zero correction is equal to, see, if you make use of this vernier calipers, any measured value will be this much more than the true value. Therefore, this much value must be deducted from each measured value. So, correction is just opposite. If the error is positive, correction is negative. That's all. This is over. Now let us go for the third diagram. Here, zero error is equal to N into LC. N into LC. Third diagram. N means coinciding vernier division. See, out of the 10 divisions, which is coinciding with main scale division? In this diagram also the fifth division is coinciding. So the N value is 5 only. Least count 0.01. 0.05. But here vernier 0 is to left side of the main scale 0. Therefore here the error is negative. This is negative 0 error. It means what? If you make use of this instrument, every time the measured value will be this much less than the true value. Therefore, you have to add this much. Therefore, the correction is plus 0.05. That's all. So, here this instrument is having zero error, and the error is occurring systematically, and you are able to rectify the error. Now let us consider screw gauge. Just like vernier calipers, screw gauge also having two scales. See here, one scale you can see horizontally. This is called linear scale or pitch scale, and each division is equal to 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter here. And here, see, you can see a circular scale also, and this also called as head scale. And on this circular scales you will find 100 equally spaced divisions. So one is linear scale, another is circular scale, or this is called pitch scale, this is called head scale. And between S1 and S2, the object is kept to measure the length or thickness. And when you move S2 to complete left hand, when S2 touches S1, then the head scale 0 must coincide with pitch scale 0, or the head scale 0 must come onto the this, what is this called, index line. It should coincide, the head scale 0 should coincide with the index line. Then we say it has no zero error. For example, let us see. See here you can see A sphere is kept between S1 and S2 and you are measuring the diameter of the sphere using screw gauge. This is the linear scale, this is the circular scale. See, to the see this we take pitch scale reading. How much here? This is in millimeters, no? Up to here 5, 6, 7, 8. So slightly more than 8 millimeter. It means the pitch scale reading is 8 millimeters or 0.8 centimeters. And what is the head scale reading? We take head scale reading on the index line. This is the index line. Now tell me, see here it is 40, 41, 42. 41, 42. So the head scale reading is 42. Like that we take head scale reading on index line. See, when S1 and S2 are coinciding, here the head scale 0 is coinciding with index line. It means there is no zero error. Next let us go to the second figure. Here the head scale 0 is above the index line. So here such type of error is called what? Negative zero error. If now it is okay. Here head scale 0 is in line with index line. Therefore A, no zero error. Next B diagram. Here the head scale 0, the circular scale 0 is above the index line. Then we say it has negative zero error. Next diagram. Here the circular scale 0 is below the index line. Then we say it has positive zero error. Now these two diagrams are of our interest because we want to measure the zero error. See how many divisions. See, we have to count the number of divisions from index line to 0. So the index line is taken as 0. So this is 1, this is 2. So the spacing between head scale 0 and index line is 2 divisions. The n value is 2. So let me write here Z E is equal to n into LC. N into LC. So where n is coincide the number of divisions between 0 and index line. Okay. 2 divisions into least count. What is its least count? Oh, we did not measure, no? Okay, now let us measure its least count. Its least count is defined as pitch of the screw by number of head scale divisions. Pitch of the screw means by moving the screw through one revolution, this moves through how much distance? If you rotate the screw through one complete rotation, by having one complete rotation of the screw, this moves through 1 millimeter distance. So pitch is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter divided by number of head scale divisions. This circular scale will have consists of 100 equal divisions. So number of head scale divisions is how much? 100. So least count you are getting how much? 0.1 by 100. That is equal to 0.001 centimeter. So here 0.001 centimeter. That is equal to 0.002 centimeters. See, we calculated the zero error. So now let us coming to this diagram. Let us coming to this. See the B diagram. It has negative zero error because head scale 0 is above the index line. it will have negative 0 error. So let me write here minus for B diagram. I am calculating for B. Okay. It is having how much negative 0 error? Minus 0.02. It means if you make use of this instrument, each time the reading will be this much less than the actual reading. Therefore, to each reading you must add this value. So the zero correction is just opposite, plus 0.002 centimeters. You add this much to each measured value. Then you get the actual value. Now let us go for the third diagram. Here the head scale 0 is below the index line. Therefore, it has positive 0 error. Now you want to calculate error. Now you wanted to calculate the error for C diagram. For C diagram, 0 error is equal to n into LC. N means number of divisions between head scale 0 and index line. Let us see the diagram. Here is the head scale 0, here is the index line. Now you count here to here 1, here to here 1, here also 2 divisions. So 2 into least value 0.001 centimeter, that is equal to 0.002 centimeters. So here this is positive error, so plus. So if you make use of this instrument, each measured value will be this much more than the actual value. Therefore, this much value must be deducted, subtracted from the measured value. So the zero correction is minus 0.002 centimeters. So systematic errors are classified into 3 types. First one, instrumental errors. So we considered the instrumental errors completely. Now the second type is imperfect experimental technique or procedure. See, mainly the procedure, we follow a defective procedure. One example is given in our textbook. Suppose you want to measure body temperature, the thermometer bulb, the mercury bulb must be kept under tongue. But what we do? We kept in armpit. A thermometer placed under the armpit will always give a temperature lower than the actual value of the body temperature. Other external conditions such as changes in temperature, humidity, wind velocity, etc. during the experiment may systematically affect the measurement. We can take another example. For example, we are doing an experiment with calorimeter. So the calorimeter is kept enclosed in a wooden container and it is closed with wooden lid. So in that way, if the procedure we follow is okay, then the error will be less. Third one, personal errors. Personal errors. Number 1, not observing precautions. To each experiment, certain precautions will be suggested, and while doing the experiment, you should follow the precautions. For example, you are doing an experiment with a thermometer. You should not touch the bulb of the thermometer, because when you touch the bulb of the thermometer, see, our body temperature is about 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. It is more than the room temperature. Therefore, observing the heat, the mercury expands and shows some reading. Then we get a defective reading. That's why we should follow the precautions. Second one, parallax error. When you are using either measuring scale, that is meter scale or vernier scale, whatever scale you are using. See this diagram. You are measuring length of the line segment. Say one person is looking in this direction, another person looking in this direction, another person looking vertically, looking at the end of the line segment vertically and taking the reading. This is the correct procedure. You should not see the line of sight must should not be inclined. The line of sight must be vertical at 90 degrees. So if you do not see vertically, suppose you see in this way, the length measured will be suppose 3.4 centimeters. Here it is 0, no? So suppose 0.4 centimeters. If you look by in this direction, it will be 0.3 centimeters. You must therefore you must look vertically. So we are discussing personal errors, no? One is not following precautions. That is responsible for personal error. Second one, parallax error. See, not looking vertically means that is known as parallax error. So to avoid the parallax error, you must always look at the reading vertically. Third one, improper setting of apparatus. The apparatus must be properly set. Okay, now what care must be taken to avoid these systematic errors? To minimize the systematic errors, one care is improve experimental technique. Second, select better instrument. Third, avoid personal bias. Fourth, apply necessary corrections to zero errors. So you know very well that errors are broadly classified into two types: systematic errors, random errors. And the systematic errors are again classified into three types, and just now we covered all the three types. Now we should go to the random errors. First we should define what the word itself tells you: random. See, in systematic errors the error occurred in one direction. All the errors are either positive or all the errors negative. So here how you get? Some of the errors will be positive and some of the errors will be negative. And here the errors can be corrected, but here the errors are not in your control. The errors which occur irregularly are called random errors. They are random with respect to sign and size of errors. Sign means what? Some of the errors are positive, some are negative. Size means what? The magnitude of the error changes like that. Okay, what are the causes of the random errors? Which cause the random errors? Random and unpredictable fluctuations. The reason for the random errors are random and unpredictable fluctuations in temperature, voltage supply, and mechanical vibrations of experimental setup. Some three reasons are given. We should consider each in detail. First, temperature. You are doing an experiment in the lab. Suppose with a metal scale you are measuring length. If temperature changes, length of the scale also changes. That is one reason. Next, suppose you are doing Boyle's law experiment. What is Boyle's law? Volume of a gas will be inversely proportional to pressure when temperature is held constant. If temperature is not held constant, then can you prove the Boyle's law? No. So, here if the temperature is changing from time to time, then we cannot prove the Boyle's law. Next, voltage supply. Suppose you are doing an electrical experiment. You are measuring voltage and current. See, now look at this diagram. From switchboard, you are taking connection, you are giving the connection to an adapter. This is an adapter. And here you select the voltage. Suppose you have selected a 2 volts DC. 2 volts DC. And this is connected to a rheostat and here ammeter, here parallel to the rheostat voltmeter, and here some resistance. These are connected like this. A circuit diagram is connected. Ammeter measures the current, voltmeter measures the voltage. Okay, but suppose this rheostat is used to change resistance of the circuit. So at a particular resistance you measured current value and voltage value. After 2 or 3 seconds you did not change the rheostat, but if you wait after 1 or 2 seconds, here ammeter reading changes, here voltmeter reading changes. Why like that? Because sometimes what happens, see, you are drawing current from the switchboard, no? And who is supplying current to us? Transco people are supplying the current. And the voltage they give us is in the range from 220 to 240 volts. It is not constant. The supply voltage varies from 220 to 240. If supply varies, here automatically our ammeter and voltmeter readings also vary. So this is one cause for random errors. And third one, mechanical vibrations of experimental setup. In addition, see, errors are actually broadly divided into systematic errors and random errors. In addition to these two types, we will be considering another type also, and that is least count error. Least count means the smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument is called its least count. Least count error definition. The error associated with the resolution of the instrument is called least count error. Here we are considering examples. If you consider meter scale, see here you can see the meter scale. You can see the meter scale. Meter scale is graduated in millimeters. The distance between two divisions is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So its least count is 0.1 centimeters. Now you are measuring length of this object using this. See here, its length is more than 5 divisions. It means what? Its length is more than 0.5 centimeters. Up to 0.5 centimeters it can measure. But here, how much more? This meter scale cannot tell you. So, in this way, we commit some making use of the meter scale. We express its length as just 0.5 centimeters. We express that much. The extra length you are ignoring. By ignoring, so you have to ignore because there are no marking of divisions. So what happens naturally? Error occurs, and the error is because of its least count. Its least count is only up to 0.1 centimeter, not less than that. Therefore, the error is because of its least count. Therefore, we say this error is known as least count error. Similarly, vernier calipers can measure only up to 0.01 centimeter. If extra length is less than this, it cannot measure. So, up to this much error is possible with vernier calipers. And when you go for screw gauge, it can measure as less as possible up to 0.001 centimeter. If the extra length is less than this, it cannot measure. Therefore, the least count error associated with a screw gauge is 0.001 centimeters. Okay, then how to minimize the least count errors? Number 1. Use instrument of higher precision. See, compared to here, its precision is only up to 1 decimal division. Here, up to 2 decimal. So, compared to this, its resolution is high. And when you go to screw gauge, its resolution is up to 3 decimal places. So, its precision is higher than vernier calipers. In this way, you must use instrument of higher precision. Second one, improve experimental technique.